Hey guys, I'm doing something a little different with my YouTube entry today. I wrote a letter to Senator John Cornyn on late Thursday night, early Friday morning. It was an email, not a letter. And it was in reference to two things. First of all, I had gotten an email from him about how he was bragging about an amendment he had successfully passed in the Senate, condemning MoveOn.org's ad about General Petraeus. As you know, they said General Petraeus or General Betrayus. And so anyhow, he was bragging about that, and I thought that was kind of ridiculous legislation. And then the second part of my letter, or my email, was about the Matthew Shepard Act and the fact that John Cornyn and K. Bailey Hutchison, both are senators from Texas, both voted against it. It bothered me a lot, so much so that I was up very late Thursday night, typing out this email to him. I didn't bother to send it to her, I just sent it to him. And anyhow, I just wanted to share the email with you. So if you're one of my MySpace friends or one of my email friends or just one of my friends and I've sent this to you, that's what this is about. But for everyone else, I wanted to share it with you. So anyhow, here it goes. Senator Cornyn, I received your email Thursday about the Senate approving an amendment you introduced that repudiates MoveOn.org's attacks on General Petraeus. I had to shake my head. More wasted time posturing and pandering over a silly resolution with no teeth instead of focusing on finding a productive way to bring our troops home from a land they should have never been sent to in the first place, to attack a country that had absolutely nothing to do with 9/11. A short time before I received your email update Thursday on your legislation, I read how you and Senator Hutchison had both voted against the Matthew Shepard Act earlier in the day. I see my calls to both of your offices on Wednesday fell on deaf ears. Needless to say, I was not at all surprised about how you voted. Disappointed, yes, but surprised, no. As you know, the Matthew Shepard Act is designed in part to help prosecute people to the fullest extent of the law when homosexuals are attacked simply because they are homosexuals, and to offer stiffer penalties to those who choose to attack many groups of people in the name of hate. The Act also provides for additional funding to help local governments go after hate groups. You and others tried unsuccessfully to block the passage of this landmark historical legislation. I am ashamed to be a Texan in light of the careless, uncompassionate votes cast by you and Senator Hutchison. You both sided with hate-mongers and evil-doers by voting against the act. Thankfully, a majority of the Senate, including some enlightened individuals from within your own party, decided to break away from you and the rest of the minority and vote with their conscience to put America on a path to being a more fair and just place to live for all Americans. Senator Cornyn, you represent every citizen in Texas, regardless of how we all voted in the last election. You do not represent only heterosexuals or whites or the wealthy or Republicans. When you vote against protecting one citizen, you vote against every citizen in Texas because we are all capable of being a target of hate in one instance or another. I hope that when you have an opportunity to vote for fairness and equality for the people of Texas again, you will remember who you really do represent and see to it that all Texans are treated the same. Thank you for taking the time to read my message, and I signed it there at the end. Oh, sorry, my allergies are bothering me a lot this weekend. But anyhow, the Matthew Shepard Act has been in the works for years. In Texas, we have hate crimes legislation that got approved in 2003. 2001, no, wait, it was 2001, maybe it was 2003. Anyhow, in 1999, George Bush did not want to support hate crimes legislation because of, well, Texas calls it sexual preference. Sexual orientation is the proper term, it's the more politically correct term. But anyhow, George Bush wanted nothing to do with this, so he let it, pretty much languish in committees, and I don't think it ever really got to a vote. But in 2001 or 2003, I can't remember which session it was voted on and approved. It was the James Byrd Hate Crimes Act, and it included sexual preference, as the state of Texas calls it. But anyhow, the Matthew Shepard Act, had this act been in place, when Matthew was attacked and brutally murdered by two guys in Laramie, Wyoming, almost 9 years ago now, it'll be 9 years ago and about 10 days, and had this been in place at the time, the city, the county where Laramie is, would not have run out of money in the prosecutor's office to prosecute other crimes. It cost so much money to prosecute these two guys that they had to lay off. I think there were 5 people they had to lay off in Laramie. And had this act been in place at the time, Laramie would have had the funding they needed to prosecute these people without putting an unnecessary burden on local resources. So that's another good benefit from this. On Friday, though, I was disheartened to hear that Barney Frank, Nancy Pelosi, and 3 or 4 other senators agreed to strike transgendered people from protection under the Hate Crimes Act. And that's very disappointing, because here we go allowing discrimination, while this legislation was created to prohibit discrimination when it comes to fair rulings and jury instructions. But anyhow, those are my thoughts on this, and that's about it for now. So I look forward to hearing your comments, because I'm really curious about how you feel about hate crimes legislation. On my MySpace page, when I posted it in my blog, I've gotten at least one response. I haven't checked it in a couple of days, so I don't know if more people have responded or not, but I did get one response, and it was not a very favorable response about hate crimes legislation. So feel free to offer your comments in a video response or a text comment. Either way would be great, and I will talk to you again soon. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.